Welcome everyone, this is Alex Burke from the Salem Museum and Historical Society. And for this week's episode of White Glove Wednesday, we're here to take a look at the two maps behind me. And the first one that I'm going to talk about is this one right here. And this is a Gray's map of Salem from 1883. This is Salem right before the railroad boom of the 1880s. And the unique thing about it is you can see a lot of different features on it. For instance, there's some of Salem's original founders on it, as long with original residents, Then you can see Roanoke College and what it would look like right here. Down below it, you can see the Williams Brown House, which is the home of the Salem Museum today. And even you can see where the house would be and East Hill Cemetery right across from it. With across the Salem, you can even see Lake Spring Hotel with its hand-dug lakes right beside it. This is Salem before the massive railroad boom. And to go next and see the changes, we'll walk right beside it to the map beside us. And this is a Baist map from 1891, just about almost 10 years later. This is Salem after the railroad boom. During this time, Salem's population has nearly doubled, and by the turn of the 20th century, there's over 3,400 residents living in Salem. And you can also notice some of the familiar historic locations that I just pointed out to us. For instance, Roanoke College is right here in the middle. And then moving down the street, we can see the Williams Brown House, which is the home of the Salem Museum. And moving up, you can see East Hill Cemetery with the current location of the Williams Brown House across from it. And traveling over to Salem, and you can see Lake Spring Hotel as well with the hand-dug lakes. And even traveling farther west into Salem, you can see the Preston Place out here just on the edge of the map. The real unique thing about the Baist map here is the fact that most of this never actually happened and didn't exist. It's because this railroad boom in the late 1800s, when Norfolk and Western came to Roanoke, all these different land improvement companies popped up over Salem and would purchase vast stretches of land and plan out different subdivisions or different improvement works throughout Salem. For instance, and most of it never actually turned out to being anything. The one example that I always point out is right here, right across from East Hill Cemetery. And for those familiar with Salem today, this on Craig Avenue and Main Street is where Longwood Park would be. In 1891, they had planned a subdivision to go right here. And thankfully, it never really turned out to being, so we can still have Salem's Longwood Park and Longwood Mansion that was once there. But it's just amazing for me to look at this map and just picture what the plan of Salem for the future was that never really materialized, and how different Salem could have looked if half of this actually turned out to be. That's going to conclude it, though, for this week's episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This was Alex Burke from the Salem Museum and Historical Society. I'll see you next time.